Hopefully he gets in. If not, so be it.
Right. He said, what? It was a playoff or something going on?
GFL.
Oh, I have no clue what that is.
I think that's his, the other team that he coaches. So.
Got it.
Yep.
Let's see who trickles in here. Sitting there watching opening night, and this is some ugly basketball here.
I actually forgot it was opening night. Hey, Tom.
Hey.
I until I just typed in ESPN because I keep all the scores up.
I
was like, oh yeah, NBA starts tonight.
And that's how everybody's taking it. Oh yeah.
Because they have not done a good job at advertising that at all.
Zero.
I watch ESPN every day, right? Every day I watch ESPN. You would have thought within the last week they'd been nonstop. Tuesday, doubleheader. Whatever.
Nothing.
Diddly nothing.
You get nothing and like it, basically.
But I'll say this, and I've said it for a few years. I don't watch basketball till Christmas anyway, because the first month and a half doesn't seem to matter, right? Who cares? It's like baseball. It's too long.
Yeah, baseball is entirely too long.
Yeah.
Oh, Blake Griffin. I forgot he was in the league.
I think the NBA is too long. We start in October, and by the time the finals happen, it's middle of June.
Yeah. I just don't like the 4 games in 1 week type situation.
Yeah.
I think if they took that out, they could easily make the season shorter. That was ugly.
And probably the other reason I don't really watch till December anyways, because football's going on. And by December, it's pretty much football's over, right? You got playoffs. Mm-hmm. That's about it. So I need to find something to fill my time.
Oh, you idiot. Yeah, true. James Harden been doing this move for the last 10 years, and he still ran into him. Yeah, you mad because you stupid. Yeah, you didn't run the other way. You ran into him. I don't like James Harden.
Hi, y'all.
Hello.
What's happening?
What's going on? No Coach Boo today, huh?
Doesn't look like it.
He's over there handling business.
That's what happens when your 49ers lose.
I was just about to 49ers lose, and he doesn't come on. Especially lose to the Falcons, and he doesn't come on.
That's right.
He tried to play it off.
Oh, I got something to do tonight.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Anytime we lose, when we don't come on, the phone will be going crazy.
Right. Oh, yep. he had much trash to talk about Travis.
Man, yes.
The one time I don't make the show when I legitimately is out of town. I know.
Not allowed, Travis. Not allowed. Not when you lose.
Ever. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, we'll still bring this up next week. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And I'll bring up the Bengals beating the Falcons too. Don't worry.
Okay. Hold tight to that one.
Hey, I can't. My team is terrible right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
And we won. That's the bad part.
yes.
You're about to go. Who's your quarterback now?
Heineken. Taylor Heineke.
Beer sales are going to go skyrocketing.
This guy. And everybody's been begging for this man to play. Okay, you gonna get what you asked for. Uh-huh. That's going to end real quick.
Yep. Well, let me hit the intro, and then we'll start with that game.
All right.
Say the clock. Oh, you already know what it is, man. Ooh and Jay, they coming through. Straight no chaser. Straight from the hip.
Straight from the hip, don't need no script, just need a microphone. My man Coach Boo gon' take you to the entertainment zone. They got the stats, the this and that to keep this show on point. And when we're done, we have some fun and rock this funky joint. So if you will, sit back and chill, give us a chance to show ya. If one of y'all would like to call, we'll talk just like we know ya. We take control, then start the roll, and then there ain't no stopping. It's time to dip straight from the hip. Hey, yo, let's get it poppin'.
Hello, everybody. I will be the host for the day since Coach Boo is out. I am Travis, the host with the mostest, I guess. I don't know. Today.
That's the throwback, though.
Yeah, I know. Since I'm kind of running the board, I'll do this. And today we have Miss Carrie. How are you today?
All the way from the real Black Mania.
There you go. I don't got no cool little intros, so we're just whatever you want to say. Go for
Well,
it.
since Coach is not here, I'm gonna represent from Black Mania.
There you go. And Irv, where are we coming in from today?
From Chocolate City, of course.
Chocolate
I'm just
City.
I'm just sitting here laughing because if Coach watches the beginning of this show, he's not going to watch the rest of it.
No,
We need to be all over him today.
I know. You know, we have 49ers lost to the Falcons, and he decides not to show up. You know, we may have to bring up that game next week too. But really, he's at a GFL game. He said he may try and get on later. If he gets on, I may or may not let him on. We'll see. But we will get started in the NFL this past Thursday night with one of the worst Thursday night football games, possibly in the history of Thursday night football. Washington Commanders over the Chicago Bears, 12-7. Tell me why this was good.
Was it really that bad of a game?
Yeah,
I enjoyed myself watching that.
because your team won. I know you did.
Oh man, listen, this is getting ugly. These Thursday night games are a problem right now. Justin Fields is. If he was on any other team that had a fairly decent quarterback, he probably wouldn't be playing. I don't know what's going on with Washington, but their offense is just terrible right now. They're relying too much on that defense, and the defense is just playing their heart out for nothing. I have nothing else to say, but I mean, I could be happy because we won. But to win by a yard, the way that we won by a yard, I don't know if I'm that happy anymore. You know what I mean? Like the season can't come to an end fast enough.
Right. Miss Carey?
Just like the third before, when was it it was Matt Ryan and the Colts against was it the Seahawks when he won it at the very end? It was just he should have won it. Matt Ryan, should not have won it, but the Colts won.
Colts
the Thursday games in general, yes, have been a problem. And the Broncos. Oh yeah, the other guy. I wonder what Justin Fields would look under a different system. Like, do we really think he does play well? Or is it the system? If he were under a Bill Belichick or I don't know, McVay be playing better because he shows glimpses of like, the idea that he has it, that he has the talent. But they let go of his best receiver, and they him at all. So I don't know if we blame Justin Fields or the program itself. Never
Yeah,
mind. I don't even want
I've
to talk about the Commanders.
Yeah, real quick, we'll just touch on the Commanders real quick. And Carson Wentz and his 99 yards passing all game. Great job.
Not his
Um,
fault. There was some big drops happening. He should have had at least 250.
he couldn't even get 100 yards receiving or passing, but we'll give him a break, I guess. Yeah, what a terrible game. Justin Fields, I've been saying it on this show since his second game of the season last year that he's not the answer. I've never been impressed with him in the NFL so far. I
Really?
couldn't even tell you one game that he's very good. I understand that his playmakers on offense are not the greatest. It's probably one of the bottom 5 in the league. I understand that. But he's not doing anything to make them, any better or get open or anything like that. He's terrible. I watched the last drive that they were driving to try and score the touchdown. Every play was when he was going to throw the ball, it was one read. He didn't even look to. He was set on one guy, and he was throwing it to that guy. He never scanned the field. He never looked opposite. He never tried to tuck it and run, which he's a good athlete. I don't understand why he doesn't. Every play was one read, get the ball out to that guy, whether he was open, double covered, single covered, didn't matter. And I think that's why they lost, right? Like, there was a play they showed, like, not the last play where the guy got tackled on the goal line, but the play before, there was a guy running open in the end zone, wide open, but he didn't even look for him because he was looking for, I think, Terry McLaurin the whole damn time. He doesn't look for reads. He doesn't. He never has all season or last year. And I'm not sold on him yet. I don't think he's very good.
But the craziest stat from that game is the Bears was in the red zone 4 times and didn't get a point. 3 of those times they got stopped at the 1-yard line. The other one was a turnover.
Yeah, that's pathetic.
That never happens. Maybe once. 3? Like, it's ridiculous. But does this finally stop people from drafting Ohio State quarterbacks too high?
I was about to ask the same question.
No.
Because you got one coming out this year.
I know. But they'll say every quarterback's different, right? He's different from Fields because of this. He's different from whoever the last guy was because of something else, right? Haskins. Every guy's a different guy, and they'll find a reason why this guy's better or this guy's going to succeed. But they never pan out.
I don't know what's going on. What is up with Ohio State and Alabama quarterbacks? Like, I guess we could take out Jalen Hurts, maybe. Should we say Oklahoma?
When I think Jalen Hurts, I think Alabama.
Yeah.
But I get your point. Next up, we'll just start it right off. Atlanta beat the 49ers 28-14. Miss Carrie, you get to go first on this one.
I'm going to give you the Jalen thing. Man, I'm mad. I'm mad. Like Irv was mad that not that we won, but that Mariota looked good because it just kind of prolongs the situation. But he did look good. I mean, he rushed for a touchdown. He threw 2 touchdown passes. Our defense was stellar, and like Irv said, the 49ers made Mariota looked like Lamar Jackson, the better Lamar Jackson. But we look good, and I hate it. I love to win, but I hate that we're winning in this manner because it just really prolongs the conversation. Are we going to keep Mariota? How long are we going to keep him? What does this mean for Desmond Ritter? Viable, future first string quarterback. Like all those questions are going to get pushed down the road when things like when Mariota performs the way he does. And I don't think that I still want him to be the bridge quarterback. Like I don't want him to be the answer. So I'm hoping that we won. It was exciting to win against the 49ers. I think they had as many fans as we did, but it doesn't matter. We sent them home losers. So I'm just worried about what it means for us long term.
Understand? No Jason on the show either. We can see
Yeah.
that.
The day the
Go
49ers
figure.
lose, we don't get none of those fans up on this show.
None
This
of
is
them.
ridiculous.
No, you know, if they would have won, they both would have been all up in the show.
Right. Oh, they were so quiet on the They were so loud on the way to the game and so quiet on the way back.
You know, Jay was at the
Exactly.
game.
Jason went.
Yeah.
I know. He was sitting in the sun on the other side.
Yeah, we saw all the pictures from before.
Yes. No after.
Didn't see anything after.
Nope.
Right.
That's okay. I totally understand. I feel the pain. You know what I mean? But it's cool. It's all right.
Yep.
But
Go ahead.
It wasn't even Garoppolo either. Like Garoppolo didn't lose it, but their defense couldn't stop us. So I mean, we really did look unstoppable on the field on Sunday. Never Jalen Hawkins, who was a ball hawk. It's a good day, guys.
just love Jason was at the game. We kicked
Coach is
it.
probably
Yes,
in Falcons gear right now.
yes, Tom. It was amazing. It was beautiful. Listen, obviously,
Yep.
Ms. Carey, yes, Mariota is the bridge quarterback. Depending on where they draft this year, a quarterback is coming. We all know that. I hate the fact that, and we're going to talk about some of these other games, some of these bad teams are just making these good teams look like they don't even belong. But come December, we're going to be looking at these teams that's winning these games now. Like, you remember back in October, how did they win that? Looking at them right now. And we had too many of them this past week. Like, it was ridiculous. This was one of them. We know that San Francisco is a much better team than what they're showing right now. But a famous coach once said, you are what your record is.
Yep.
And Atlanta's what, 3-3 now?
Correct.
3-3.
There you have it.
Tied with the Bucks.
Tied with the Bucks in first place. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
you have
look, I know, Miss Carey, what you said about Marcus Mariota, but I think he's the best quarterback for the job right now, right? Like, he was 13 for 14 passing. I know he only threw 14 passes, but look, when the Broncos had Tim Tebow, they threw it 5 times and they still made the playoffs. Like, if you got a formula that works, keep going with it until somebody can stop it, right? Like, and he's a fantastic athlete to tuck it and run. You're relying on your defense, which there's nothing wrong with. You gave up 50 yards rushing total to the 49ers. Total. Like, that's unheard of, right? That's the reason why you win the game right there.
Yes.
So, solid performance from Atlanta. I don't think they're as bad as what we all thought they were going to be and what everyone thought they were going to be. And I'll give Arthur Smith some credit, right? Like, he's coaching the team he knows what he has on his team, and he's coaching with what he has players-wise. He's not doing anything fancy. He's running pretty basic offense, but it's working for the most part, right? Like, are they winning every game? Absolutely not. But could they ride this to a number 7 seed in the playoffs? It's possible, right? Like,
with the way the NFC is,
especially, like, look at some of these NFC teams. I don't think they're as bad as some of these other teams in the NFC. They're not as bad as the Commanders are. They're not as bad as Seattle. They're not as bad as Arizona. Like, they're not as bad as Carolina. If you rank them, they're probably a middle-tier team in the NFC, which means they may have a playoff shot. And I think the other thing that helps you guys in the long run for this year is because you guys were bad last year, you guys have an easier schedule than probably most teams in the NFC because you have a fourth place schedule. Win the games you're supposed to. Good for them. At the end of the day, that's all you can do. You play who's on your schedule, and if you make the playoffs, congratulations to you guys. And I think it's possible. So I know we'll keep looking at it because we got a lot of Falcons fans. Obviously, Miss Carey, you are as well. But I think it's possible they make the playoffs. We'll see.
Anything is possible with the NFC.
You know
this
what
year,
Coach would say?
far.
So we're supposed to. Coach would say, so we're celebrating now because you make the playoffs. What are you going to?
He'll say, damn Jimmy G, he's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not a 49er fan. What are you guys talking about?
I'm a 49er supporter.
I'm a supporter.
Not a fan. Because that's a fanatic.
They look
I'm
like
not
straight
dude.
Until they get Jimmy G out of there, I'm done. I'm done with them.
If they don't draft, he'll say, if they don't draft a quarterback, I'm switching teams.
Yeah.
Then they draft the quarterback. I told you that's not the quarterback that I wanted.
I don't like Trey Lance either.
Oh man,
Travis, did you say you thought that the Falcons would draft a quarterback this year again?
Yeah. When did they get Ritter? Ritter was what, second round, or was it later?
Yeah, but this past season and this past draft, you think we're gonna go and get another back?
That's what I said. Depends on where you guys draft. It's a couple of good ones out there that they can't pass up if they got.
Yeah, this is a quarterback heavy draft. I do find it interesting that they have not played Ritter one time yet this year. I actually find that a little alarming.
Yeah.
And I know, I want to see the dude play, and in my mind, if he's not playing, that kind of tells me he may not be ready. So, and again, it's only his first year; it's his rookie year, and guys take time. I get that, but he was a third round pick, so it's not like you guys did a high draft pick on the dude. So,
I got the same situation going on up here. So
yeah, but they're not going to play him as long as Mariota wins. Yeah, you're right. Who's behind? Oh, who was behind Wentz?
Heineke and then Sam Howell.
And Sam Howell, yeah.
Oh,
the quarterback that was a first round draft pick the year before if he came out.
And what was he, a third or fourth round pick this past year?
Fifth,
yeah. Why are we getting on?
He lost all his weapons in Carolina
here? Because he gets on our ass every single week, even if we're not here. So that's why, Tom.
Yes. Payback is real, Tom.
Exactly. And because I'm running the board and I say we can. So that's another reason. And on that note, on to the next one. Patriots beat the Browns. Anybody have anything on this crappy game?
Zappe!
Crappy. Right? No, nothing.
Zappe!
Irv, what did you like about Zappe?
He's just making Mac Jones look stupid right now. I love every minute of it. What y'all saying about Mac Jones? Okay. Once again, Alabama quarterback. Can't do crap in the league. You get somebody named Zappe.
Where'd Zappe go to school? Anyone know?
I plead the fifth.
No, I don't.
I just had to look it up. Western Kentucky.
Ooh.
Western Kentucky.
Ooh.
Oh, if he plays well, it'll be interesting to see what happens when Mac Jones finally does get back. I got a feeling they'll go back to Jones.
They're going to go back to Jones.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
he's just Cooper Rush.
Oh, God.
We're getting there.
That's Zappe 1.0. Zappe is 2.0 right now.
Right.
Oh, my word.
Who's Bledsoe, Matt? Who's Bledsoe? Mac Jones or Zappe?
He said Bledsoe. He must be talking about Zappe.
You're saying
I know we don't talk Cleveland a lot because he shits on them. Are we worried about Cleveland? Do we just think they're not a good team even when Deshaun Watson gets back? It's not going to make a difference?
Nah,
Because this was a team that some people thought was going to make the playoffs, and they're 2-4, and they really, if you look at their schedule, haven't really played anybody.
No, and I think once Watson gets back, it'll be a different story. Just because he's going to be out for what, 12 weeks? Because they have a bye. Like, who knows?
I think the team will play better for him too, though.
I can't wait to see. It should be interesting.
Agreed. I think his first game. What game can he get back?
I think against the Texans.
Texans, that's right. Yeah.
It's all a setup, man. We've talked about this.
Right.
At Houston too. Come on.
Yeah.
That was
They got the signs made and ready to go.
Yes, they do. He better not get a massage.
Well, he just had another thing come out yesterday, so you got another woman that is coming out against him. So we'll see.
I saw that.
But yet, still, my owner is still in place. Man, these people here.
And I guess we'll give a congratulations to the New England Patriots owner for getting engaged. I guess.
No, he married.
Whatever. Same thing.
Yeah, we all know that situation. She's in her 40s.
Yes, and he's 80 plus. I think he's 82. She's 47.
Hey, if this means he doesn't have to go to the massage parlor anymore, good for him.
Right?
Oh, he's still going.
Good for him.
He's still going. I bet she stays 2 floors down.
Right.
And is just wait for him to croak.
Richard Hood, we're getting there. Once we get to Carolina, we'll get to that game.
Every time he rolls over. Baby, you good?
Next game. Jets.
Like this. Card.
Jets over the Packers. I don't think anyone saw this one coming. Are the Jets for real?
No, the Packers are fake.
Okay.
I mean, the Jets better be something. They got enough picks in the last year. They better be something. I'm happy for Salah. I'm happy for those fans who have waited for a long time for some wins. But Green Bay looked sorry.
And I'll tell you one thing. Those early picks that the Jets got showed up.
Yeah, they did.
Packers are fake, Richard Hood says. I think I tend to agree with him. Yeah, I don't think the Packers are real. I don't think the Jets are real either. They haven't beaten anybody. So.
Well, we would have said beating the Packers is nothing. They still have Aaron Rodgers.
Hold on. We lost O for a second. No, I don't think Green Bay's very good. So I don't think beating them is really much to celebrate this year. I think they're gonna fight for a playoff spot with Atlanta. So I'm not impressed with Green Bay. Next, the Colts beat Irv's Jaguars. I love how Irv leaves right before we talk about his team. Hold on. Colts beat the Jaguars. Perfect timing.
Welcome back. The floor is yours, sir.
Listen, man. First off, the Jaguars are not my team. I said they were going to have a better season than what you guys been saying. But the AFC South is just altogether garbage anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how do they lose to the Colts, man? This is disrespectful.
Oh, I know.
And they make Matt Ryan look good. Man, this is bull.
And they led the entire game up.
Next question. I don't want to talk about it. Next question.
Matt Ryan had 3 touchdowns. Was that just because he played Jacksonville, or is the Colts offense getting it together?
No,
No, it's
I
the
don't
fact he
think.
threw the ball like 80 times. Like, he had to get 3.
Okay.
But Trevor Lawrence literally had 2 incompletions and played out of his mind. And Matt Ryan threw the ball. I'm going to look it up. He threw the ball like 60 or 70 times. It was something stupid.
42 of 58.
You don't get 3 touchdowns throwing the ball 58 times.
58 times for
Should have had 5.
389 yards.
And that's too little. We throwing the drop down pass, screen,
Yeah, he
slant,
should.
slant. Oh, they
Hey.
blitzing, screen.
He can't do that deep ball anymore.
No, he can't.
He can't throw it 10 yards. He can throw it 10 yards. It was terrible. Most of the yards were after catch. Like, it was bad.
Yep. Another terrible team that's gone down the tube is the Dolphins, who lost to the Minnesota Vikings, 5-1.
Yeah, I think the Vikings are fake too.
Really?
Yeah, their schedule is very favorable right now. And it's not helping that the Dolphins are on their 8th quarterback right now.
That is true. Remember 3 weeks ago when they were talking about the Dolphins being the best team, and
But
now
you
they
know
lost
what's making it worse? You know what makes it bad? Teddy Bridgewater was in concussion protocol without a concussion. Who are these people?
Yeah, now there's the pendulum is swinging too far to the other side now.
Yeah, the fix is in. They want Belichick to win.
No,
I get it.
Buffalo's not going to let that happen. So
I hope not.
we'll get to them. Moving on, because that game kind of stunk anyway.
Yes,
Bengals beat the Saints.
all right, Travis, have the floor.
It's yours.
All Atlanta fans, you're welcome. You're welcome, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. We beat our own quarterback, Andy Dalton. But, hey, that's who we had to play. Joe Burrow had 300 yards passing again. And Jamar Chase is really, really good. Offensive line is getting better, I think, every week that it goes by. So I like the way we're heading, and we're tied for first place. I'm happy. We're good.
Oh, sorry, guys.
That's okay.
I know that was all up in the ear.
Next, the Giants beat the Ravens to go 5-1. Someone on this show, week 1, said the Giants were going to have a pretty good season. I think it's the guy that's talking. Tell me why I was wrong.
You weren't wrong. They're leaning on Saquon Barkley. That's what they should have been doing. I mean, he's finally healthy, right?
Yeah.
And he looks like a dog right now.
He is killing it right now.
Yeah, I can't argue. Saquon Barkley is playing out of his mind, and it's just what the Giants needed. And they hit Baltimore where, for some reason, this is the 4th game they lost, and they were winning by more than 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. It's ridiculous. I don't know what's going on in Baltimore. Might have to take a road trip, talk to some people, and I'll be back next week with the answers.
Okay. Saquon's got 616 yards already rushing this year.
Wow.
Balls.
Yeah,
Mega
he looks
balls.
beast.
Yeah. Baltimore, man. Lamar, 17 of 32. That's ugh. Right? Like, that's ugh. And they got over 200 yards rushing. They still lost this game. Their defense.
And they lost Duvernay. I don't know for how long.
Really? I didn't know that. That's
why they picked up Deshaun Jackson today.
I'm glad you told me that, because I have Devin Duvernay on 2 fantasy teams. I'm about to go drop him.
It's short term. It might be a week or 2.
Ah, okay. Never mind. I'll keep him.
But yeah, they picked up Deshaun Jackson.
I did see they picked up Jackson. I didn't know it was because of Duvernay. I just figured they were like, oh, we have nobody to throw to, because they still don't. And I think that's part of their problem. They don't have anybody to throw to. They invested all this money in Lamar Jackson, or they're going to, right? I don't know where the for the fact that they haven't even paid Lamar Jackson, I don't even know where all their money's going to, right? They have no wide receivers. They haven't paid their quarterback. Yeah, Mark Andrews got paid, but their offensive line is okay. It's not great. And they don't really have any running backs. And their defense isn't nearly as good as what they have been for years. So I don't know where their money's going, but I don't think they're getting a good investment on it.
So this offseason for Baltimore is going to be very interesting because you got Lamar, you got Marlon Humphrey, you got Peters. What's the other safety? Oh, goodness. But one of the safeties you got to pay. I think Ronnie Stanley has to get paid.
Okay.
They got to do some serious maneuvering to keep this team in any type of attack. Because Lamar's going to break the bank.
Oh, I know. And if they pay him that much money, the only way they can keep this, I think a pretty competitive team on the field with Lamar Jackson is if they do the Deshaun Watson route and they give him all fully guaranteed.
That's what he wants.
But are they going to do that? Right? That's a lot of money you're gonna have to give out in one day.
That's the argument, because if they weren't willing to do it before the season, and the record is what it is, like, are they going to do it?
Well, the first 3 weeks of the season, everyone had him as the MVP and going, this guy's unstoppable. But and this is another. I know we haven't really talked about it on the show, but part of my thing of why I've always been hesitant with Lamar Jackson is when it gets cold, right? He plays in Baltimore, cold weather games. He struggles throwing the ball in cold weather games. He's not accurate. His deep ball struggles, right? Like, is he really a cold weather, quarterback? I don't think he is. And when you're playing in Baltimore, you're going to play in Baltimore. You're going to play in Pittsburgh, in Cleveland, in Cincinnati in November and December and possibly January. It's going to be cold. It's going to be snowing. Right? Like, that's going to be difficult to do. And with him being a running quarterback, it's going to be difficult to run in the snow and the rain like it gets in those cities in, the end of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. But, yeah, you don't have any targets. We'll see how Deshaun Jackson fits in. It's I think it's funny, Karma, that Hollywood Brown is out for the season. After the smack he was talking about in Baltimore. But we'll see, man. I mean, Mark Andrews is always going to be his favorite target.
Absolutely.
I think it would have been better if Andrews and Hayden Hurst would have stayed in Baltimore, but they got rid of him. They had to get something for him. But we'll see. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. The defense is looking sluggish, if that's a real word, in the fourth quarter. Like, they slacking off and they sluggish. They slaggish. It's terrible in the fourth quarter. They're not aggressive. It just looks ugly. They're just playing not to lose instead of playing the same aggressive way they play the whole game. It's hard to watch. I'm glad I recorded and don't watch it live because I'll be throwing my remote at the screen where I could just turn it off.
Understandable.
I do feel like he gets Lamar Jackson gets, I don't want to say exposed, because I said in some ways I feel like he's a gimmick. Like, there's no doubt the dude is talented, but I feel like there is a sweet spot for him in every game. And, like, if you have to rely too much on him, he ends up trying too hard and lets you down. If you don't, I mean, he can't just pocket pass the whole time either, because he's not as accurate. And so there's like this fine line that you have to stay between these two bookends in order for him to be successful. And I don't think that they have found that consistently. And I like, you think for sure he stays in Baltimore? Like, for sure.
At this point, we have no idea.
But if you had to guess,
I would say yes, because if you let him walk, you literally are saying we're going to start from scratch.
100%.
You literally say we're giving up for the next probably 2 to 3 years. We're starting over.
100%.
Because you don't have anybody behind him. And because of how many games they're probably going to win, they're probably going to be a later round draft pick. So they're not going to be able to get the top quarterbacks. So,
well, it depends on how everybody drafts before them and who is before them. Because I think a lot of the teams, like Jaguars, teams that still got young guys, they're not drafting a quarterback.
Yeah. No, you're right. I always wonder with Lamar, and it's just Baltimore kind of in general, right? They always have these good years where they win 9, 10, 11 games, right? They always make the playoffs. But I don't think he's the type of quarterback that can win you 3 playoff games in a row. I just, like you said, Miss Carey, he has to be in this certain, field of he can only be this good at a time, and he's got to stay that way for them to win. And I don't think he can do it for 3 games in a row that are must wins against playoff caliber defenses every single week.
100%. I hate to say it.
Sorry,
Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Absolutely. Yep.
Herb is broke. The Commanders and the Ravens.
Well, I'll be all right.
We'll get off of Irv's team. We'll go to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wait, who put that song on?
You know it ain't me.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. Must have been an ad. Pittsburgh beats the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Probably the upset of the week.
Thank you, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh just cannot have a losing season.
Nope.
And it's not going to happen. It doesn't matter what goes on. Mike Tomlin got on some voodoo or some hoodoo or something, because automatically after the first 4 weeks, we said this is going to be the first season he's going to have a losing season. And then he goes out and beats one of the best teams in the NFC South. He's going to end up going 9-8. It's just going to happen. Like we just have to expect it now.
Wait, what's their record now? 9-8, Irv?
They're 2-4 right now.
Then he's not going 9-8.
Have you seen the rest of their schedule?
Have you seen their quarterback?
I don't care. Their schedule is so weak, it's tragic. I think the only tough game they have left is Philly.
Hey.
They must play the Bengals in there somewhere. Travis just got his feelings hurt. They play the Falcons too. Excuse me.
They play.
They still play the Browns. They still play the Baltimore. Whoever, what the heck they doing? They got to play Oakland, who's playing trash. They got to play the Panthers, who's still trash. They got Baltimore twice. Falcons, Colts, Bengals. Sorry, the Saints trash. Philly undefeated. The Dolphins. Who knows? They got the Dolphins next week. Who knows? All those teams, they might just lose 3 of those. That's
no, I got them losing 4. They're going to lose against the Falcons. They're going to lose against the Bengals. They're going to lose against Miami and Philly.
Next topic. They will mess around and beat Philly. This is how bad it is. They will mess around and beat Philly.
Nah.
Because remember the year that Pittsburgh was undefeated? They lost to Washington, and their season went downhill ever since. I think the same thing is going to happen in reverse.
They have 11 games left. They would have to go to get a winning record. They have to go 7-4.
No. I say they have a losing record. We put money on it right now, Irv?
Yeah, I think they got a losing record.
But this year in the NFL, I put money on nothing the way the referees are calling these games.
Okay.
They'll lose at least 1 to Baltimore. They'll lose to Philadelphia.
You're saying the Bengals.
I think we beat them. Yep.
I'm saying they play Pittsburgh. We play Pittsburgh here.
Yep, it's at Atlanta.
That's even worse.
At Indianapolis.
Oh, they're winning that one.
The Raiders. We'll see. It's possible. You're right. They don't play a lot of good teams. They need the Miami game this week. They need to win Miami.
Now they're saying
and Tua's coming back. Yeah.
But the way that these games are being ran, Thompson's gonna be right back in there.
Could
So
be.
this is week 7. They got 9 more games left, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
If
have them
you
going
said
5-4.
if you said only 4, that's a winning record.
No, because they're 2-4 now.
No, I'm saying
No,
she said
'cause they're 2
I
and 4.
see 4 losses in there. I said if you say you see 4 losses, they ended up with a winning record.
Well, I wasn't counting the Ravens. So I'm saying 5 losses.
Oh well,
You have 8 and 9.
I don't even know what you were counting because you threw out some teams that make no sense whatsoever.
Ravens, Philly, Bengals, Atlanta, and I forgot who the last one was.
Listen, Philly got to lose
Okay,
sometime.
I got them 8 and 9. That's
8
my
and
bet.
9. Okay.
Philly gonna lose sometime. It's gonna mess around and beat Pittsburgh.
It won't be Pittsburgh. Anyway,
Plus,
we spent
people
too
watch
much
coming
time
back.
talking about Pittsburgh. Now to Carolina. Here you go. Carolina. Talking about Carolina. And they got lost to the Rams. Shocker. But the big thing about them is what happened on the sidelines with Robbie Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Who is out of there?
They traded his ass. Bye.
This guy
See
is
ya.
living the sunny life in Arizona, and they
That's a
get ready to
dumpster.
get rid of McCaffrey.
Of Christian McCaffrey. Yep. Where do you see him going?
I was going to ask, do you think they get rid of McCaffrey by the end of the year, trade deadline?
Oh yes.
Okay. Where does he get traded to?
The
You know
Bills.
what? No, I'm gonna hate saying this because for some reason this team gets all these players, and I'm trying to figure out how they pay them.
Rams.
Philly.
Oh man.
It's going to happen. I'm telling you. Every year we say, how the heck did Philly get them? Where are they putting all this money at? But before the season started, he changed up his contract. So if they wanted to get rid of him, it wouldn't hurt the next team.
He's only owed like $1 million right now. This year it's very team friendly. Next year is not, but you can always restructure after this year. That is true.
I'm telling you, it's going to be Philly, and we all going to sit here next week and look at each other like, where's this money? How in the world? Because they have solid running backs, but they don't have a guy like Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
And you put him with Jalen Hurts, with those 2 crazy receivers they got on the outside, forget about it.
I say the same thing about the Bills, though. They're all in for sure, and they don't have too strong of a running game.
I can see the Bills.
I can see the Bills too.
I could absolutely see the Bills. Yeah, that makes that.
I don't know if he's going to like that snow in November though.
Yeah.
Oh no, my uncle lives. I'm from Dunkirk, which is west of Buffalo. It was snowing today, dog.
Yeah, see.
Hey, I'll throw it out. Kansas City. Imagine him on Kansas City. It's not like they got any running backs anyway.
Another one. I wonder
right?
how they got so much money. They have that guy with 2 last names, Hilliard Salaire or
Clyde
something.
Edwards-Helaire stinks. He's terrible. He's
Talk about the LSU running backs again.
He's terrible. I'll say the guy, the Brian Burns, I think will get traded too if they're doing a fire sale. I'd love for the Bengals to grab that guy. That's what I want.
I forgot about Brian Burns. Yes,
I would love to have the Bengals trade for that guy.
But yes, Panthers may go 1-16 this year.
Yes, they stink.
Yep, and then they'll get the first quarterback on.
Yep. They're a complete dumpster fire. They're a complete rebuild. Yeah. And I don't think David cares. I don't think he cares one bit.
No. And I'm tired of everybody Carolina go do something.
The owner, David Tepper.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I'm tired of I was going to do good too.
On to a team that I thought was going to be good this year. The Arizona Cardinals lost to the Seahawks.
Oh, no. Last year was their good year.
Yeah,
But we don't know how they're going to do. They just picked up 2 receivers, we could say,
I know.
because Hopkins is coming back, and they picked up Robbie Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
They
know.
need wide receivers because their wide receivers stink right now, especially now
Yeah.
that Brown's out. Oh my goodness.
Quarterback
But-
still has real short arms, though.
Everybody say you look like a little baby back there running around.
Yeah,
Well,
he
that's the
does.
thing. He runs around, but he doesn't tuck it and actually run the ball. He just runs around and tries to throw the ball. I think he needs to actually tuck it and run. That's what I think he needs to do.
Well, he had 100.
This past week, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first week he's done that, though. This is the first week he's done that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's ugly football right now, but obviously they don't have the team that they expected to have with the suspension for Hopkins and a lot of injuries going back there. But yeah, a lot of those guys that they have is overcooked. They got to go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's basically a wrap. And the funny thing is, there's one player on the Cardinals that nobody's talking about, and this is his first year really being healthy for the last like 5 years. It's J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Which is funny to me. Like this guy literally can't stay healthy. This is the first time he's been through the first 6 games without having a nick, and nobody's saying a word.
Yeah. I feel like Arizona's that team that should have been good about a year or two ago, and now all their players have just fallen off at the exact same time. And a lot of people thought they were going to be pretty decent this year, but for whatever reason, they've all kind of just taken a downhill turn this year. And just they're going to need to do a rebuild too. I don't know if they need to get rid of the quarterback or they just need to get rid of basically everyone but the quarterback.
I don't think they'll get rid of Kyler.
I don't think they will either, but I'm just saying that they need to upgrade that entire roster because they got a lot of old vets on that team that just not working out anymore.
100%.
And hey, Seahawks 3-3. They're better than what I thought they were going to be, right? Like I could hardly name you very much talent on that team, especially defensively. This has been a pleasant surprise. I'm not saying they're going to do anything, but for the fact that they've already won 3 games, like, look, I thought they'd win 3 or 4 games all season. I thought they were going to be one of the worst in the league this year.
Hey, that rookie running back, Kenneth Walker, is looking pretty solid.
Yes, he looks like the real deal.
Because
They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose from here on out. Travis, thanks for the jinx.
Oh,
I'm not a Seahawks fan, so I don't care if they
No.
and it's an APB out for DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
I know. I got DK on one of my fantasy teams.
Me too.
He's had one good week all year. One good week. He has a squat. Pissing me off. You'd think, like, for how good the wide receiver that is and how they have no one to throw to, they would find a place for that guy. But
Yes.
nothing. I don't think Gino likes him. Next up, AFC divisional round rematch. The game of the century, at least game of the season. Bills and the Chiefs. Miss Carey, let you go first. Thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think that really the Bills have looked in the past 2 years like they haven't had like not enough gas, but enough plays to get to the end of the end of a game and win it against Mahomes. This time they did. I don't know a whole lot about defense, but I did listen to Dan Orlovsky talk about the defense that they played and how they were splitting the field and playing a defense on one side zone and on the other side an entirely different. And he talked about the scheme that they played on defense over and over again. And it appeared to stunt the Chiefs. And I'm glad for the Bills. I think the Bills are going to, well, I'm not going to say it. I'm glad for the Bills. And I think the Chiefs missed their receiver.
Yes, they do. They missed Tyreek Hill heavily.
Yep.
But let's pray. Matter of fact, I don't even want to say it because if this one guy goes out, Josh Allen is cooked because he relies on this one player religiously every week. Screw it. I'm gonna say it. He better hope Stephon Diggs never gets hurt.
Does his name start with an S and last name start with a D?
Yeah. Listen, he better pray nothing happens to Sfth Diggs because he is making him look so amazing. And it's just like it sucks that Sfth Diggs doesn't get the push that he should be getting as a top wide receiver in the league right now. Because obviously they're just throwing everything on Josh Allen like he's the GOAT of quarterbacks right now, when obviously it's Sfth Diggs. I mean, 13 targets with 10 catches, almost 150.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic season this year, just like Josh Allen has. They're the real deal.
Sfth Diggs made Case Keenum look good.
Yeah. I think we know
that's why Christian McCaffrey needs. That's why they need Christian McCaffrey.
And there'll be a serious problem.
Sorry.
Could be. I think the AFC goes through Buffalo. I think we all know that. That's gonna be tough because we know what Buffalo's gonna be like in January when those games
feet of snow, baby. 35 feet of snow.
Yep. And I think Josh Allen is probably the one quarterback in the league that can still pass through that.
That's a fact.
So that's going to be a big advantage for them. In terms of Kansas City, I think we saw last year, and I'm not trying to blow smoke up the Bengals, but what they did in that AFC Championship game is exactly what Buffalo did in the fourth quarter, right? They rushed 3. They set everybody back, and they had one of their fastest linebacker just did a quarterback spy on Patrick Mahomes, and once he started moving out the pocket, that linebacker starts blitzing him, and it forces him to either tuck it and run or get the ball out quicker than what he wants to. And if he tucks it and run, you got to tackle him, and they tackle him. But that's exactly what the Bengals did in the AFC Championship game. That's exactly what Buffalo did yesterday. And I think that's the way you got to beat Patrick Mahomes. You can't do it all game. I understand that, but if you're in a close game in the fourth quarter, that's the type of defense you need to do. Umbrella defense, 3 linemen, and you only blitz 1 if Mahomes is starting to run. That's how you got to do it, because you have to have enough guys to double team Kelsey and take away the other wide receivers. So I just don't understand why other teams haven't figured that out yet. It may just be a talent issue, right? They may not have the talent and the ability to do that, because it seems like that's kind of what the good teams really do. That's how they defend them, but the other teams don't. But I think that's how you got to defend them, at least for part of the game. So,
he still has that fear factor with a lot of teams in the league.
Agreed. And I think until a team, he seems like that type of guy that, like you said, he puts fear in a lot of teams. But once you beat him once, I think once you have been like, okay, we can do it, right? And that's why I think the Bengals won the AFC Championship game last year, is because we beat the Chiefs. Even though it was in Cincinnati the first time, we said, we can do this. We've done it before. The Bills are going, we can do this. We basically beat them last year. But there's not a lot of teams that have been able to do that. And you're right, that's a big thing with a lot of these other teams.
Yes.
Eagles stay undefeated against the Cowboys. 26-17. I
loved every minute of it, because I'm tired of these Cowboy fans, and I know you guys are in the chat. Go ahead and say it. Let it out, because I'm saying it right now. They suck, okay? They always suck, and they're going to suck because they're going to lose in the first round again. But no. Really, Philly found the formula to beat them. Run outside. They can't beat them. Dallas cannot do anything when you run the ball outside. And it opens up that short intermediate passes that Philly just loves to do, because they're expecting those outside runs to come, and that threat of the run from Hurts And it's just so easy to slow down Michael Parsons when you're doing that. Yes, he's going to get his 1, 2, 3 sacks, but he's not going to be a factor the entire game like the way that they were doing it. Like they literally ran the same play 5 times where they left them by himself to decide if you want to get Hurts or you want to get the running back. And he always picked Hurts, and Hurts just lofted the ball above his head, and it was a big game. Why teams don't find the way to beat these good teams and just keep on doing it until they stop them, I'll never understand. But Philly decided to do it, and I'm glad. Thank you, Philly, because I hate Dallas.
It's scary.
Yeah, same. I think they took the best player. They took the best player out the game, in running the ball the way they did. So without Micah Parsons, he was frustrated, and they did what they had to do to take him out of the game. And Cooper Rush is Cooper Rush. There is no quarterback controversy.
That was going to be my take. Actually, was Cooper Rush finally played like a backup, right?
Yes.
He had 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions, and he had less than 20 completions and less than 200 yards throwing. So he finally had a game that you're like, okay, I can see why this guy's a backup. It might have been the Philadelphia defense. It might have been it was just his time that he's going to have a bad game. It might have been because it was a primetime game, right? Like, all those things could have been factors, but that really hurt Dallas, right? He wasn't the same quarterback that had played the other 3 or 4 weeks of the season. He made a lot of mistakes. Philadelphia definitely capitalized on it. And they showed why they're probably the best team in the league right now. I think it's a clear combination between Buffalo and Philadelphia as the 2 best teams right now. Last game, I don't think we really need to talk much about it because it was terrible. But that awful Monday night game with the still think is overrated Chargers and I hope the Denver Broncos never have another primetime game for the rest of the season. Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say on that.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
And it makes it bad because the Chargers are 4-2 and have been playing some of the most ugliest football I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like even worse than the Seahawks. I can argue even worse than Washington.
And some people had that quarterback like MVP in the MVP conversation at the beginning of the season.
I got a buddy that he and I got into an argument in the offseason about why he thought Justin Herbert was better than Joe Burrow, and I laughed at him. The Vikings aren't undefeated. They've lost 1 game. The Vikings have already lost a game. They're not undefeated.
Yeah, they lost 1.
Yeah.
Just 1, but they ain't played nobody to.
They're not undefeated.
They haven't played anybody to justify that 5-1 record that they have. So let's relax. Let's calm down.
I think they're a good team. I think they're the best team in the NFC North.
But that's not saying much.
That's all I'm going to say.
That's not saying much at all.
That's all I'm going to say. But with that Monday night game, that was terrible. I never want to watch a Broncos game for the rest of the season. They had 3 primetime games in 5 weeks. No team should have to do that. No team should get the opportunity to do that. Not have to. No team should get the opportunity to do that. I don't care what team you are. That's crap. There's enough teams in the NFL that don't get enough primetime games that the same team doesn't need to be in primetime 3 out of 5 weeks, right? And I know we all crap on the fact that some of these teams have terrible games, like on Washington and Chicago. We talked about it earlier. But no team needs to have 3 primetime games in 5 weeks. I don't care if it was Philadelphia, I'd still be saying that. Because that's just, 1, it's not fun. I like to be able to watch a new team. And 2, I don't think it's fair. And life isn't fair. The NFL's not fair. I get that. But at least this early in the season, you need to split up who you're putting on primetime. That's just my opinion.
It goes to show what they expected of us to be able to do right now.
Yeah, because when you pick the wrong team, like they did with the Broncos, you get terrible primetime games like we've gotten 3 times. All 3 times they've been on primetime, you got terrible games. and they're awful, and no one wants to watch it.
That's tough to say though, because they got the Bears back-to-back weeks on primetime. Oh, no.
I know. Well, that's the same. I'll say with them, they don't need to have back-to-back primetime games. That's terrible.
They don't need any.
Well, I think every team. I think every team should at least get one primetime game, right? I don't have a problem with every team should get one, and because some fans, I'm Bengals fan. I don't get a lot of Cincinnati games that I can watch, right? If you're somewhere that is in another state, you may not get to be able to watch your team a lot. I think every team should at least get one primetime game. But you don't need back-to-back, and you don't need 3 and 5 weeks. I don't care who you are. So,
and it should be a rivalry game.
Hopefully a rivalry game. I agree. That's it in the NFL. Real quick, college. Alabama goes down to Tennessee.
Yeah, Rocky Top with the dub. Shut up, all the Alabama fans. I loved every minute of that game. It was beautiful. I got scared for a little while because Alabama started taking over, and I was just like, "Here we go again." But oh, Rocky Top, let's go.
You won't hear me say, "Let's go, Rocky Top."
Pause.
No, Tennessee looks good. They got a strong offense. I said going into this week, this is going to be my proving game to see if they're legit or not, and they're definitely legit. So now we got to see what happens when they play Georgia.
Oh, good luck with that.
I know.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, somebody got to lose sometime.
Agreed. Absolutely. Well, it is 9:08. I can hear my daughter banging on the door back here, so I got to go see what she's doing. So.
And the NBA season starts tonight, so let's not forget that. The
NBA
Hawks play
season
tomorrow.
starts tonight. Yep, the Hawks play tomorrow. Murray and Young.
Yep.
Any wild predictions real quick from you two basketball aficionados?
Wild predictions? The Lakers make the playoffs. Wow.
Well, Anthony Davis already got injury issues right now. They might get into the play-in.
Wow.
But let's see. My crazy prediction, it will be a team that did not make the playoffs make the conference finals.
Like the Hawks?
Definitely not the Hawks.
Oh, sorry.
The Wizards.
Definitely not the Wizards. We can't say what.
Oh, the Nets.
I'm saying it's going to be the Detroit Pistons. Mark my words.
I love Jaden Ivey. You know that.
I like what they did in the offseason.
I love me some Jaden Ivey. You know that.
They're going to creep up on some people.
Purdue. It's my boy.
This comes from the dude that told us the Jags were going to do something.
I said the Jags going to be. I didn't say they were going to be playoff bound. I said it going to be better than what y'all said. Y'all
You think they're going to make the conference?
South.
You think the Detroit Pistons are going to make the conference finals?
Listen to what I'm telling you.
I just want to confirm.
Sneaky team.
I'll say their backcourt could be real dangerous.
You got Cunningham and Ivy in the backcourt. It's two dangerous guys.
That could be if they match up well, like if they work, that could be dangerous as all get out though.
And they picked up 2 free agents that came from Utah. That's going to be very sneaky.
Okay.
And I'm just saying. Listen.
Okay. I will be watching Detroit this year because Jaden Ivey. I will watch Jaden Ivey.
No, you won't, because they don't put them on primetime.
They will be after the All-Star break. I'll tell you that. Exactly. They'll adjust some games.
That is true. Miss Carey, what's the prediction for the Hawks?
I'll let you know after the game tomorrow. I'm going to the game tomorrow.
Okay, next week.
32-50. Let's go. Let's clap it up. It's a great season.
No, we will have a 50-plus win season for sure. Bye, Irv. I'm trying to take coach's position right now.
Let's go Hawks.
Okay,
let's go.
Well, that's it.
Wizards.
Oh, I already know they're going to be like a 30-win team. This is not even up for discussion. I accept the fact that the Wizards are going to have injury problems and suck up the joint.
They've been tanking for like 4 years.
Listen, Porzingis can't play more than 70 games. Who knows what Bradley Beal's going to look like? We'll see.
Okay. All right. Hey, it was nice talking with y'all today. We didn't even argue once.
It's the missing
No,
link.
we didn't. That was fun.
It's so nice to be peaceful.
It's
I'm gonna
the
eat some
missing link.
pancakes.
And now
Okay.
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, that's it for this week. Next week we'll get on here. We'll talk about the Bengals' victory. And
Almost, Travis. You almost snuck that one by.
Bengals' victory next week against the Falcons.
All right.
And we'll see what happens.
Hey, don't be absent.
Oh,
I won't.
You out already.
I won't.
Okay.
Unless Ashley's sick.
I'm feeling sick already. All right. Bye, y'all.
Exactly.
Have a good night.
See you guys.
Straight from the hip. Thank you, Travis, for leading.
No problem.
Bye.